Charlie, great to see you. Thank you for doing this.
You too.
So it's good to see you again.
You too.
So, exciting week for you. You got the new album coming out. How are you feeling about it?
I am really excited. I'm ready for people to hear this whole project.
Well, congratulations on the CMA nominations as well. It's been a pretty awesome week for you.
Thank you.
How special is it to see your name in those categories, and particularly for Album of the Year as well? Because I know how much that project meant to you.
I mean, you want so badly to be recognized by the industry and by your peers, and the fact that they thought I was worthy of, to me, the biggest honor that you can have as a female, which is Female Vocalist of the Year, and then to me, the biggest honor that you can have with an Album of the Year nomination, and to be the only female, especially on this album that was such a turning point for me, losing Busby and all of these things. It just feels so so special. I'm so honored.
So you've got the extended version of 29 written in stone coming on Friday. I'm interested to know what inspired the full length project, because the 6 track EP or however many songs were on it felt like a real kind of chapter in itself. So what made you sort of build on that and create the full length project?
I think that first part, I just wasn't done with my process of figuring out what had happened to me. And I think as I continued writing, I realized that there was more to the story and there was a redemption to the story. I think you got the first chapter that was kind of a WTF moment for me, of just what in the heck just happened. And me on a quest of, getting better, but not fully there and not fully seeing the whole scope of what had happened to me. And so I wanted to kind of build off of that. And in the process, 8 new songs came to be, and I realized, oh my gosh, here it is in its entirety.
Yeah, and do you feel like there's been an improvement in the connection between yourself and the fans as well? Because I feel like this newfound like honesty and openness in your music, people have really connected with it, and it feels like you've blown up over the last few months.
Oh my gosh, fans, I feel like we have this just so much richer of a relationship with each other. And I think it's because as artists, there's still something that feels not human about us, I think, for fans. And I think when I went through everything I went through, and I just kind of like threw my hands up in the air and was like, hey guys, I'm a human too. I go through exactly what you guys go through, and my life isn't as pretty as it looks on the old Instagram. I think that that humanized me and made them feel like I was saying to them, I understand you. I understand
Yeah.
your pain. I understand your struggle.
And one of my personal favorites on the new album, Never Wanted to Be That Girl, which comes out at midnight tonight with Ashley McBryde. Tell us a little bit about that one, and why you felt like Ashley was such a good choice for that.
I've only wanted to write with two artists that are my peers. One being Luke Combs, and we wrote "I Hope You're Happy Now." Second being this one, and I just have always been a fan of Ashley. I love what she does. I think she's just different enough from me, but also we sing and come from the same kind of music, and we both were kind of silently hoping that day was going to turn into a duet for the two of us, and it did. And I think that the perspective that we landed on was just this really honest, real situation where two women are having the exact same feelings of being burned by the same man. And you never want to be put in those situations that those two women are put in, and they find themselves there and they feel dumb, and they get duped, and don't even really realize that there's another person feeling exactly the same as them.
Mm. Well, it's one example of brilliant lyricism on the album. I love the wordplay as well. Songs like Diamondback, Easy Going, Liability, obviously. Where do these ideas come from for these genius song titles? Are you going to take the credit for that, or is it someone else?
I All three of those are three different people. Liability being myself, Easygoing being Josh Osborne and Natalie Hemby, and Diamondback being Shane McAnally. And I think that's just the beauty of the people on this album. I think we were all so inspired by the other one that we just kept wanting to kind of chase something that was as cool as the last song that we wrote. And I think you really hear that in this. This was very collaborative between Shane, Josh, and I, and it was so fun.
And tell us a little bit about the moment when you found out that Patty Loveless was going to be a part of Dear Miss Loretta, because country music icon obviously needs no introduction. Tell us about that phone call or whatever it was.
Oh my goodness. She's been such a hero of mine. Actually, when I started out with the first part of 29 and taking Next Girl to Radio, my slogan was, "What would Patty Loveless do?" And to have her now be a friend and be on this album on a song that means so much to me is just crazy. It feels like I'm singing with my big sister.
Yeah, it's amazing. And I also wanted to congratulate you on the Opry membership as well, because I know how much that meant to you. I don't think anyone deserved it more. It was about time, to be honest. So tell us a little bit about how it's been to be a part of that family over the last few years, and what you hope to do as an Opry member moving forward.
Oh my gosh, I feel like the Opry watched me grow up in front of them. They let me debut when I was 25, when I was an Airbnb cleaner, and just the fact that now I get to be a part of the family forever, and they have watched all of this stuff happen to me. It's my greatest joy, and something that I know that they know, and I know that fans know. This wasn't just an accolade for me to go, well, that was cool. Next, it is a promise that I will continue to make sure that they know that I'm invested in what they do.
Yeah, well, speaking of the Opry, you did an amazing performance of "Show Me Around" at the weekend on the live stream. Tell us a little bit about recording that, because that must have been such an emotional experience for you.
That was, I mean, just to see how a song that I wrote for Busby can change and become something greater than I ever even experienced or thought it could, to bring hope to people that are heroes. That those 40 people on that flight, I was in sixth grade when September 11th occurred, and I thought I knew the full story, but I learned about those 40 people that day, in a way that just made me appreciate it so much more and appreciate their efforts to make sure that that plane wasn't going to head for more destruction and that they would risk their lives. And I just took that moment to really speak to the sky, because if you could see it in that video, the sky just was so special that night,
Hmm.
and we could feel that they were there.
It was such a special performance, really, really amazing to watch. And tell us a little bit about what it's been like on the road with Lady A as well, because it looks like you've had so much fun with Charles, Hillary, and Dave, especially the duet you did with Hillary the other day. That looked like a blast.
I love them. I mean, I actually came to C2C and was with them, so it feels so special to finally get to do a tour with them. They are some of my closest friends in the industry. They have been for years, and it's just it's so fun. I love them.
And just before I let you go, Carly, the obvious question: when are we going to get you back in the UK? Because it's been far too long.
I promise that I am coming as soon as I can, and I want nothing more than to be able to perform this album, especially over there, because I know that you guys like all songs, not just singles.
We certainly do. That's what we like to hear. Well, thank you, Carly, for doing this. Really appreciate your time, as always. Pleasure to
Thank
chat with
you.
you. And yeah, speak soon. Best of luck with the album.
Thank you.